Hi team, welcome to our YouTube video. Today we are diving into an exciting world of implementing the CI/CD implementation for your UiPath projects on Azure DevOps. So whether you are also new to these concepts, are you looking to streamline your automation process? Join us. We are exploring a step-by-step process how to leverage the Azure DevOps to build and deploy of UiPath projects. Let's get started. Let's see the overview of Azure DevOps CI/CD implementation. So, as a as we know, the source code we do develop on the UiPath Studio. So, this UiPath Studio code should be integrated with any of the repository tool, either Azure Repo or GitHub, anything. So, whatever the changes which we made in the UiPath Studio, and if you do push, automatically the Azure build pipeline will get start executing. What does it do, the Azure build pipeline? This Azure build pipeline will convert your source code to .nupkg package, and it will be keep that nupkg package in Azure UiPath artifacts. So once it is available, then automatically the release pipeline will be start executed. So what does it contains? So the release pipeline contains deploy task. This deploy task. So what does this deploy task will do? This .nupkg package will be get deployed into the orchestrator. So there are different stages we have right here: the dev stage, UAT stage, and prod stage. Each stage before we can add an approvals event. So after giving an approve, only then it has to deploy into the certain orchestrator. In such a way also we can implement this particular one. Let's see prerequisites. Any pipeline will executed either in Azure Pipelines agent or a self-hosted agent. In the same way, when we are implementing our pipeline, it will be get executed either we can execute in Azure Pipeline agent or a self-hosted agent. These agents must and should require this .NET 6.0.7 or higher, or even you can install only .NET Desktop runtime of 6.07 or higher version to deploy your UiPath projects to the orchestrator. Let's see the step 1 for implementing the CI/CD implementation for UiPath project. In step 1, we are going to install UiPath integration extension in Azure DevOps account. So let's go to our account. So this is my account, where you have to click organization settings. In the organization settings, you have to click the extension. So in my account, I already installed UiPath integration. If you are very new, you may just click on the browse marketplace, and it will be take you to the marketplace where you have to search with the keyword called UiPath. Let's get to it. You have to search with the keyword UiPath. Okay, where you will see UiPath integration. So you have to click this one, where if you can see 5.36k downloads, you have to install this particular extensions. Once you get install the extension will be get available over here in the installed tab. Let's see step 2, creating a project. I'm taking to my account, where you have an option called a new project, and you please click on this particular one and give a justified name. So now I'm giving CI/CD underscore first release. You can choose here in the visibility either in the public and private. Now I'm choosing as a private and just clicking on the create. So my project get created. Let's see step 3, creation of service connection. Let's go to our application Azure DevOps account. So in this account, to create service connection, you have to click project settings. In the project settings, if you scroll down, where you have an option called service connection, so click on create service connection and search with a keyword called UiPath. Just click on next, where you can see here 3 different options. The basic authentication. All we know, this basic authentication, it's used for username, passing the username and the password and the tenant name to create this service connection. As a second option, token based authentication. This token based authentication is only supportable for the cloud, not supportable for the on-prem. So this token based authentication is just like getting an access token, the orchestrator access token, and pass over here and passing the tenant name and the account name, so you can easily create this particular account. But as a highly preferable and also the best practice to for the authentication is external application. So we are going to choose the authentication type called external application. For that, what I am going to do here I'm just going to my community, cloud community, where I am clicking on admin tab, where we are choosing the external application. In this, I'm creating an external application. I'm clicking on the add external, and this is, I'm just giving a naming convention, Azure CI/CD. So I'm choosing here the confidential, and coming to the scopes, so I'm adding the scopes as mentioned in the as mentioned as mentioned here. So for this, as a first option, so in the resource, what I'm choosing here, orchestrator API access, and I'm choosing here application scope. So the first one is folders, so I'm choosing the folders, and the next one is background, and the next one is test sets, test set executions. Next one, test sets, test set execution, test set schedules, test set schedules. And what is the next one? Settings. Next one, robots. Machines. Execution. Assets. Users. Jobs. Monitor. And just click on save. Click on save and click on add. So it generated my app ID and app secret. So I'm just making note of app ID and the secret, and the scope which I just mentioned. The scope just mentioned. So let's configure the service connection. As an orchestrator URL, I'm just mentioning here https://cloud-uipath.com. As account name, I'm just taking the account name. This is my account name. Just passing here the account name. So as I said, the application ID. Yes, this is my application ID. It's secret, app secret. Okay, this is my app secret. Application scope, and this is the application scope. And the tenant, so here I'm going with the tenant, default tenant. So I'm just going to configure, same thing, default tenant. So here the service connection name. So my service connection name, you can name the service connection as per your wish. I'm just giving here UiPath orchestrator. So this particular service connection, I'm just granting the access this service connection to all the pipelines. I'm just clicking on the save. Yes, done. Our service connection creation is done.
For understanding about self-hosted agents. So, what is the meaning definition of the self-hosted agents? A agent that you set up and manage on your own to run the jobs is a self-hosted agent. As we discussed in the step 1, so we do have a prerequisites to execute the Azure pipeline for UiPath projects especially. So what is the prerequisites we discussed? At least we do require a desktop runtime 6.0.22 at least needs to be installed in the machine to execute any UiPath jobs or tasks. Okay, so this self-hosted agent, I mean, if example, if I take my machine is a self-hosted agent, okay, this agent should require to install a desktop runtime at least 6.0.22 or higher. Okay, so and one more thing, how to install the self-hosted agent, how to make a machine to a self-hosted agent. Let's see. If I go to my project, if I go to my project where I have the project settings, click on project settings, where you have agent pools. If you see the agent pools, here we have default pool and Azure pipelines pool. So if I'm just go to the default pool, here you have an option called new agent. If you click on the new agent, it will give a set of commands to make this particular machine be a self-hosted agent. Whichever the mission you would like to make as a mission to a self-hosted agent, then you have to execute these commands. By downloading this particular package, you have to execute these commands. So once you get execute these all the commands, and if you do configure all these things, automatically the agent will show here as online. My machine name is desktop DKP HE20. So once you have executed these set of the commands, automatically your machine name, the machine name, while configuring this machine name also you can change, but default I have given my host name, so that's why it's shown as desktop DKP HE20. So once you have executed those all the commands, it will be shown as online. Okay, so but if you see this particular command, here it is asking to create a folder called agent. What does this agent folder contains? Let's see. So if I go to my agent folder, so this is my agent folder, agent 1, I have given the name as the folder name. So in this folder name, we have a work. Okay, in this work folder, right, every pipeline execution, every project, it will be treated as one number. Okay, if currently we have created this particular project, right, CI/CD first release, this particular project is also a one folder. Each folder contains three things. One is ABS. Let's understand what is meaning of ABS. A meaning artifact directory. We can see these all the standards in the predefined variables. If you see, the A meaning is artifact staging directory. Okay, the artifact staging directory. You can go through this particular website. You will understand what does it mean, artifact staging directory. Let's remember this particular words, artifact staging directory. Okay, and also the B means binary. So the binary related stuff. So here, if I just go here, binary, the binary directories. Okay, S means the source code. S means the source code. Here, the source code meaning, so whatever the repository contains the source code, it will be get downloaded over here.
Let's see step 5 of creating the build pipeline. Let's go to our Azure DevOps account, where you can see here the pipelines and the releases. Here the pipelines refers to build pipeline and release refers to release pipeline. Let's create our new pipeline. Okay, just click on the create pipeline, where it will ask where is your code. My code is available in the GitHub repository. So if you see my source code, one second, here it is available. My source code is available over here. So if click on that GitHub, so in this GitHub, where my source code is available, it is available in this repo CI/CD first release. I'm choosing CI/CD first release, and I will give two options here: starter pipeline and existing Azure pipeline YAML file. So if you already created any YAML file, you want to execute on that particular YAML file, or you are going to create a new file. So I'm just going to create a new file. It is called starter YAML file. By defaultly, it will come up with this particular details, the trigger. here on which branch we have to trigger. I mean, like if any changes made on this particular branch, this particular pipeline needs to be get triggered. So here my branch is main, so I'm just configuring the main. And the pool meaning where this particular pipeline needs to be executed. I already installed a self-hosted agent as I shown you in the earlier step. So my self-hosted agent is in the using default pool. So I'm just giving here default because my self-hosted agent is available in the default pool. So I'm just given the default pool name, and this particular step I may just ignore it. So if you click on show assistant, where you may search with UiPath, you will get a lot of the tasks. So if you are not getting this particular task, make sure that you did not install UiPath integration. Let's, as a first step, what we have to perform here, it is UiPath pack. Let's click on UiPath pack, where you have a first option, choose versioning method. In this choose versioning method, you have three options. One is auto generate the package version. So it's automatically when the pipeline get executed, right? So automatically a version will be get generated. And the next option is use this version specified in the project. So if you have any version is mentioned in the project.json file, it will be get picked up by this particular, if using this particular option, it will be get picked up from the project.json. And next one is the define custom package version. So if you choose this particular one, you will get one more field called mandatory field called version. Okay, you have to mention, you have to configure here the version name when you're executing the pipeline. I'm choosing here auto generate package version. And the next part is like projects path. So from where we have to pick the source code to convert into .nupkg package. So always whenever we execute a pipeline, the source code will be placed in a folder called S. As I just told you, the source code will be, as I told you in the earlier step. So there are three folders will be get created, A, B, S. In the S folder, source code will be get downloaded. So this, what is the predefined variable to point to this particular S folder? So the predefined variable is this one, build source directory. So we are just configuring here $build source directory. In the build source directory, the project.json file will be get picked up. So choose output type. So this choose output type, it is like what type of the project you are packing. So you are packing the process project or a test automation project or a library, and what type of. If I don't mention anything, it will be picked automatically from project.json. Okay. Another one is the orchestrator connection. So what is the purpose of this orchestrator connection? As I told you, if whenever the UiPath pack executes, all the dependencies will be get downloaded in that particular self-hosted machine to confirm all the dependencies is available or not. It just for a confirmation. There are certain scenarios like they have a closed network, so there is an internet access is not available. Only in such scenario, what they will do, they will upload all their libraries and all the dependency packages in their orchestrator. So this is the purpose for this one. If the external feed is not available, they will keep in orchestrator, right, all the packages. In such scenario, we have to choose this particular option. I'm not choosing this particular option. Output path. So this output path is more or like where I need to place the NUPKG package. So here build artifact staging directory. It's meaning, what is this build artifact staging directory meaning? Where it will be get placed? It will be get placed in the A folder. If you can also search over here. So this is like A folder. It will be going to place in the A folder. In the A folder, it's going to create one more folder called output. So the inside the output folder, this .nupkg package will be get stored. Okay, let's place the cursor at 20th line and click on add. So the pack task is created. The pack task AML is auto generated. Okay, once it is done, if we want to queue this NUPK package is ready, and if you want to execute automatically get execute the release pipeline, what you need to do, we want to place this particular thing in the artifact staging directory. So for that, artifact So we need to publish this build artifact. Okay, just place the cursor. Okay, we are moving this NUPKG package to artifact staging directory drop folder. Okay, so here we are just placing and just clicking on the add. So done. This build pipeline source code is done. I'm not going to run. I'm just going to save this particular file. Just saved and just save. Done. Okay, it just saved. Let's see step 6, creating a release pipeline. Let's go to our account. So we already done this build pipeline. You can see here, clicking on this one and click on the edit, where you can see you configured code. Okay, you are configured piece of the code over here. Clicking on the release pipeline. Let's see how to create the release pipeline. Click on the new pipeline. Okay, where click on the artifact. So what is the purpose of this particular artifact? See, the build pipeline is configured on one of the naming convention, right? That source we are configuring over here. Okay, just click on the add. Let's click on the add. You have here a continuous deployment trigger, right? When this particular trigger needs to initiate. Okay, when you click on this particular one, if you can see, enabling this trigger will creating a new release every time a new build is available. When we are executing a build pipeline, whenever the NUPKG package is available, I need to trigger the release pipeline also. I'm just enabling this particular option. This is done. So whenever the build pipeline get executed, the NUPKG package available, obviously the release pipeline will be get executed. That is configured everything. So what needs to perform in the release pipeline? Just click on the add stage. What stage need to be get added over here? UiPath deploy. Okay. Click on this job. See, and this one, and also before configuring UiPath deploy, and we need to configure this one even on which agent this release pipeline needs to be run. So in the agent pool, what we need to choose here? Default. Yes, the default agent we need to configure, and also we need to add one more thing called UiPath deploy. So I'm just adding UiPath deploy. If you see here, the orchestrator connection. Our orchestrator connection is UiPath orchestrator. So packages path. So where is NUPKG packages available? So we already published our NUPKG package to a folder called drop. You can see in the release build pipeline here. Click on the edit. We are published this particular NUPKG package to a folder called artifact name called drop. So we have to configure the same thing. So it is available in the artifact staging directory /drop. You can choose this one. Choose this one, right? And in this drop, so it is available in the drop. So where this particular process needs to get created. Okay, if I go, I have created here the folder called Azure CI/CD. Okay, I'm just copying this particular folder name, Azure CI/CD. Just configure Azure CI/CD. Okay, my entry point is main.xaml. This is fine. I just configured. I'm clicking on the save. UiPath deploy configuration is done. Okay, let's go to our pipeline. My agent is already in the online. I'm just running this particular pipeline. Okay, just click on the run. So as a first time, we just need to give an approval for the permission for the agent pool to get execute. I have given approve. It's kick started. First of all, the build pipeline is started executing. UiPath pack job is executing. Will publish build artifact. Done. So build pipeline executed successfully. Build pipeline executed successfully. Let's see the release pipeline. So whether it's kick started. Yes, it's kick started. If you go to the release, so downloaded the artifact is success. You can also see the logs here. Downloaded the artifact is success, and UiPath deploy started. Hooray! It's failed. Let's see why it's get failed. It says in the directory it contains multiple packages. I can see. Let's see. Earlier I have executed one of the pipeline. This is release 4a. Okay, if you observe, it was available inside the drop and output. I did not configure that particular one. Due to that, it caused failure. Let's go to edit the job, deploy. Just click on this one, drop. Inside the output, it is available. I just given the output folder. Okay. Save, and let's save. Create the release. So I'm just creating the release. So if you see the second release started executed. Deploy success. Let's see whether it is deployed or not. Let's go to the tenant packages. In these packages 12 seconds ago, first CI/CD package is deployed, and let's see whether the process is created or not. In the automations, the first CI/CD main.xaml is created. That's it. That's how we have to implement the CI/CD implementation for CI/CD for UiPath process. Thank you. Take a closer look why the pipeline execution failed initially. Let's go to our account, DevOps account. Let's see the error message. The error message says fail to run the command pipeline. Please specify a valid path to a file with the .nupkg extension or a directory containing multiple packages. Okay, so it's clearly saying that it's unable to, UiPath deploy task is unable to find out .nupkg package. Okay, so let's see in the build pipeline what we configured. If you see here, publish build artifact, what we are publishing $build artifact staging directory. What does it mean? It refers to a directory, artifact directory. whatever the content which is available in the A directory, kindly publish it to release. So what it does contain, it contains a folder output. This folder we are publishing to a folder called a drop. This drop, where it is available, it will be available in the release. Okay, if you see here in the folder structure, if you go to the releases, in the releases artifact, inside the drop there is a folder called output. So meaning it's copied output folder from here to here. Okay, so if you observe, after publishing, this output folder is available in the drop. So it's meaning it is available in the drop folder, output folder. When you see the configuration, if you see the configuration, what we have just mentioned, in the release pipeline, we given only the drop. We missed a folder called output. So inside the output, we have a new PKG package available. So if you just rename, if you just add a folder output and clicking on the new release, it resolves our issue. That is a small change which I have done. The pipeline got executed successfully. Hope you understand. Thank you.